Hi everyone, it's Kim. Welcome to my channel. Today I am bringing you another slow cooker recipe, and this recipe is part of a fall collab that I'm doing with Carrie over at Weight Watchers with Carrie. Now there are several channels involved in this collab, and I will link those down below in the description. So today's recipe is quick, it's easy. Again, it's a slow cooker recipe. I was able to throw this in my crock pot before work. Doesn't take very long at all. I did just very little prep. So without further ado, I'm going to get started on this video, and here we go. Okay, we're gonna jump right in and get this started. Today's recipe is stuffed pepper soup, and it comes to you from the Country Cook, and I'll place the link below for that. What you see in front of you is I have 1 pound of 91% lean ground beef, and I've already pre-browned that with some onions and red and yellow peppers. I added a little salt and pepper when I did that, and I'll insert a clip here for that. Our meat and onion and pepper mixture is coming together pretty good. We're almost done to move on to our next task. So I just wanted to kind of show you where we were at. The next thing it calls for is 1 can of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato soup, 1 14-ounce can of chicken broth, 2 cups of cooked rice, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of garlic powder, salt and pepper to taste, and again, I'll put the link below. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started and start throwing in our items. So I'm going to put in the ground beef, the onions, and the peppers, and I went ahead and sprayed my crock pot so that it'd be easier for cleanup for later. So I'm just going to go ahead and toss that in. I'm going to toss in, called for 14 ounces. I have 16 ounces here. I just went ahead and mixed together. I should show you that. The broth-based seasoning, hopefully you can, there we go. It's kind of like the Better Than Bouillon, but it's more of a powdery broth base. I looked for the Better Than Bouillon and they didn't have any, so I just went ahead and grabbed that, and I've been using that. And this is the last of that, so I'll be switching back to my Better Than Bouillon. I like them both the same. I just think the Better Than Bouillon mixes easier. All right, so we've got that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my can of tomato soup here. Grab a spoon so I can scoop that out. And in typical Kim fashion, she never has something. There's always something, and no matter how prepared I think I am, there's always one thing that I always forget. So we're gonna dump in that can of tomato soup. Mix that in there real quick. Now this also called for a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. I had some in the freezer that I had put away, so I'm just going to go ahead. I've got those de-thawed here in a bag, so I thought I would just use these instead of that can today. So I'm just going to dump some of those in there. And those were just fresh tomatoes that I had diced up and put in my freezer. Those in. It called for 1 tablespoon of sugar. I'm going to put in 2 packets of Sweet and Low. I may be able to get by with 1, but I'm not sure, so just to be safe, I'm going to dump 2 in there. You can use any type of sweetener that you want. That just, again, kind of cuts back on some of the smart points for this. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And I just have the regular Meyer brand garlic powder. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of that in. And then salt and pepper. I just have my salt and pepper grinders that you see me use all the time. And for those of you new to my channel, they're just the plain Kirkland salt and pepper grinders. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a stir. And for the rice, you're gonna add that in at the end of the recipe. Now, we like to have a few extra peppers in ours, and again, I pulled some peppers out of my freezer. I went ahead and had sliced peppers. I have yellow and orange peppers. I don't know if you can even see that. They're still a little frozen. Is that a better angle? Yep, that's a little better. So I have yellow and red peppers, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add a quart-sized baggie. It's kind of half full in here as well, just to add extra peppers into the soup. And then I'm going to give this a quick stir, and then I will bring you over and show you what that looks like before I turn it on. This is going to cook on low for 8 hours. And then when I get home, I have brown rice already cooked, and I will go ahead and throw that in the bowl before I serve the soup over it. Now, if you're doing Weight Watchers, bring you over here to the soup. So if you're doing Weight Watchers, it's easier to measure out your rice separately than to throw it inside the soup. When I throw it inside my soup, it seems like it just makes it harder and you're kind of guessing at the points. So I always like to just serve my rice in the bowl and then pour this over it, and it tastes perfectly fine. Now this soup does freeze very well with the rice in it, so I will go ahead and pre-portion out those bowls. And that way I have it in the freezer to grab and go when I want it. So stay tuned, and I'll finish up this video when we get home. All right, it's been a little more than 8 hours. I'd say more like 9.5 hours. So I'm gonna pull the top off this and give this a quick stir. It smells just like you were baking stuffed peppers in the oven all day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some rice in a bowl and ladle this up and enjoy dinner. If you are doing Weight Watchers, I'm going to say that this is 5 smart points per bowl. If you use a half cup of rice, a half cup of brown rice is 3 smart points. And I'm gonna go ahead and count the soup for 2 smart points because again, I do have that 91% lean ground beef in here. And the last time I made this, it made between 8 and 10 bowls. So again, it's really good for freezing. And I just let it completely cool down before you put it in the freezer. So with that said, I'm going to jump off here and enjoy dinner. Again, thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button down below so you can see when I post the new video. And for those of you who have been subscribing, thank you so much for following me on my channel, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a great night. Bye.